On AM 1130, 99.9 FM, Prescott, Chino Valley, and Paulden, 95.5 FM, Prescott Valley and Cottonwood, the talk of the Quad Cities, KQ&A. It's HammerTime. Waking up with the YCCA. HammerTime is brought to you by Lawhorn Plumbing, Verde Valley Alarm Services, Permit Pushers, Prescott Home Safety, Greenlee Designer Surfaces, Get Right Mitigation, Franklin Plumbing, The Blind Brothers, Caltex, Vicente Landscaping, Barrett Propane, and Badger Roofing. And now from the studios of KQ&A, it's HammerTime, waking up with the YCCA. Here's the Executive Director of the Yavapai County Contractors Association, Sandy Griffiths.
Hey everybody, happy weekend to you. It's Easter weekend, my wingman.
I'm not here. I'm out looking for my eggs. Chocolate ones.
Chocolate eggs, okay.
Have to get them before the heat comes on, you know.
Did you eat all the M&Ms that I gave you in the open bag last weekend?
Oh, they were gone that night.
Seriously?
So I'm dead serious.
Oh my gosh.
But I did share them with my wife.
Okay, engineer, how about your eggs? They're still out there? You don't have a mic, you can't talk. Just shake your head. Yes. Do you have eggs left? No, he's shaking his head.
They were good. They were wonderful.
You two crazy screwballs. So anyway, happy weekend, happy Easter, a glorious day to remember and be very grateful and thankful for.
Absolutely.
So we've got a super show today. We've got 3 powerhouse men with us. Well, really, we have 5 powerhouse men, counting you and the engineer.
Well, thank you.
And then 1 powerhouse little girl. But our show today is going to be lovely.
And the entire powerhouse is going to be present
At the home show.
at the home show.
I know. They've got 2 booths each. So 6 booths right in a row. We're going to call it Powerhouse Row or something to that effect.
And it always is.
Yes. So our show last weekend with Mr. Chris Crosby, is he not awesome?
He is. He's a good guy. Good guy.
Mean, what an amazing, well-organized, astute, respectful, professional contractor.
Yeah. And a good hometown guy that just started out small and has been successful.
Yes. So, you know, Chris Crosby does a lot of deck work, is getting into bath and kitchen remodels. Mm-hmm. Super guy. So, how are you? What are you doing this weekend?
Well,
besides eating chocolate bunnies and the ears off the chocolate bunnies.
Actually, I have a little bit of a respite after moving my office, so I am going to do a couple of home chores and call it good.
Have you been on 69 and seen all the vertical barricades?
Yes.
Whoa, I can't figure out what they're going to do. Do you know?
I have no idea.
I should know. I need to make a phone call.
So it'll be interesting to see.
It's kind of interesting traversing through all those.
Yeah. It's kind of like those dog courses where you have to weave in and out of the things, although I don't think that's what they intended them for.
I weave in and out
sure
without
doing
vertical barricades. You know, when I drive, I just weave. That's all I can say. So we've got a super show. Like I said, we have 3 powerhouse men that we're going to put on air and share what they do.
Indeed.
So take us to break, and when we come back, we will meet Jason, Kinney, and Christian.
Ooh, a little catcher there trying to bait people.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, they may figure it out, but we'll introduce them when we get back. In the meantime, you're listening to Hammer Time, brought to you by Yavapai County Contractors Association, and we're airing on Talk of the Quad Cities, KQ&A 1130 AM, 99.9 FM, and 95.5 FM. So please stay tuned for some great messages from our valuable sponsors. Get ready for that home show this coming weekend. Sit back and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Hammer Time, waking up with the YCCA, a presentation of the Yavapai County Contractors Association. Once again, here's your host, Sandy Griffiths.
We are back on air. Happy Easter weekend. I hope your little baskets are full of chocolate bunnies and Easter eggs and all types of deliciousness. But again, remember the reason for the day.
Exactly.
Most importantly. So with us this morning, we have Mr. Jason Nance, the big dog of B&M Painting. Hi, Jason.
Hi there. How are
Welcome.
you?
We're good. Welcome to
Thank you.
HammerTime. Then we have, this is like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. We have Jason, the big dog. Then we have the middle dog, Kenny, with B&M Builders and Remodeling.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
It's about time you showed up.
Yeah.
And then on the end, we have a major upcoming awe-inspiring dog, big dog, taking place. Christian Nance Raw Custom.
Good
Did I
morning.
get that right? Raw?
It's Bannister.
Bannister, sorry. I got that wrong. Raw
Customs.
Raw Customs.
Yes, ma'am.
So
And he's not the little big dog. He's a good sized.
I don't think
big
any
dog.
of them are little big dogs. They're all big dogs. So anyway, we're going to talk about painting. We're going to talk about powder coating, one of my very favorite things. We're going to talk about building, right, Kenny?
Yes.
Are you happy to be here?
I'm very happy to be here.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
8.5.
Oh, Christian, on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm going at about 400 right now.
See, now there's the answer.
There's the answer, my man. Way to go. Okay, Jason, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, it's always high for you, Sandy. I'm gonna go at least a 10 plus.
There we go. Kenny, come on.
Yeah, I have to bring it up.
You got to
12.
bring it up, dude. Oh, now he comes back. Okay, before we get into our show, 2 things, or really 3 things. Did you guys watch the women astronauts go up into space?
I heard about it, but I did not watch him.
I did. It was so cool.
I didn't see it.
No?
Did they
don't
have
see it.
live pictures of them floating around and stuff?
Yes, they
Did
showed them for about 4 minutes. They were weightless. I mean, how exciting.
So were they powdering their noses and everything?
No, they were taking this very seriously. It's the first time in over 6 decades that women have gone up in space.
I think
So
the
way to go, Jeff Bezos.
I think the last one was a Russian cosmonautess, and she flew by herself, so that made it a crew
Of 1.
of 1. Yeah.
And then back to the team, B&M and Raw. Congratulations, you guys, for being a major supporter of the PBR that we just had last weekend. What you did for the community and sponsoring and bringing in your bikes. I mean, they rode their bikes on rodeo dirt, right, Jason?
That's right.
Around the arena.
Yeah. It was the first time. It was great. You know, everybody loved it. It was the talk of the town. I heard from all the cowboys the following night that's all they talked about at Jersey Lilies when they were there after the event. They all went and met at Jersey Lilies, and they said, we didn't even talk about the rodeo. We talked about the bikes. So it was exciting. Crowd was just going loud. You know, we carried the flag on the bike,
Yes.
and so we were like kind of the flag intro, and everybody just went wild. It was great.
So was that your idea to bring this forward, or a sponsor position or opportunity that came out?
You know, during production, they had mentioned it. You know, hey, what do you think about bringing a bike or a razor? I said, well, I got either one. So I brought the razor just in case.
Right.
The whole circle thing didn't work, you know, because it takes a specific motorcycle to ride on that dirt. So they gave me the opportunity, and they said, you know what, let's try it. So I came in early Friday
And practiced?
and practiced.
Oh,
Well,
how
they-
many times did you have to practice?
I probably went down 10, 12 times around just to make sure that I wasn't, you know, I was there by myself, and my wife was on the back during the actual
Right.
PBR. So having another body or that extra weight on the back does
Made
kind
a
of change the
difference.
game a little bit, but it worked perfect. I mean, they said it was actually so great, and everybody loved it, that they want to do it now every year.
Would that not be awesome?
Yep. Yeah, it was.
You could have a whole contingency of bikes going around with American flags.
Right.
Christian,
some
you
of
could
those-
be on yours. Kenny, you could be on yours.
Yes.
Sounds like we need to introduce you to the production team.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I bet some of those bull riders would much rather have been on your bikes than on the bulls.
They loved it. I mean, every one of them commented on the
I'm
looks
sure
of the
they do.
bike and which one they liked better. I had 5 of them there.
I thought you had quite a few.
Yeah, so they got a chance to see them all, but everybody loved the one that I was riding on the dirt. They're like, man, if I was going to pick any one, it would be that one, you know? So it worked out really well.
Perfect.
Yep.
Good. Okay, now back to biz here. Back to the industry and what you do and why you love what you do. So, Jason, B&M Painting, you're the you put the lipstick on the buildings, right? You give them that fresh look. You do concrete coating, exterior painting, interior painting.
Yeah, we specialize in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. So we can take care of all your house needs, your office, anything you got that has painting inside and outside, we can take care of that. We also offer specialty concrete coatings, garage floor epoxies, urethanes, stamped concrete, stained concrete. We specialize also in waterproof deck coatings, so catwalks, balconies, walk decks. We can also do material and non-skid surfaces over concrete. Most all of our waterproof deck coatings are non-slip, and they're all UVR rated. Many varieties of textures and colors when it comes to the walk decks and the coatings. Same thing with the specialty concrete coatings. We can do metallics, we can do chip broadcast systems, we can do a solid color, we can do clear coat over direct concrete, we can do just about everything that's needed in the coating industry.
So have you been doing this for a gazillion years?
This is my 34th year.
Oh, a gazillion.
Yep. This is my 34th year. We're growing.
How many employees does B&M Painting have?
Right now I've got 21.
Oh, Lord.
Yep, I got 21 on that side. And then I also have, Kenny and I have guys and finished carpenters on the B&M builder side as well. And then Rock Customs has their own people.
Perfect.
Yep.
When I just said, oh, Lord, that reminded me. Oh, Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Wow, Janis Joplin.
Yep. There's the name.
What a great soul from the past.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
So 21 guys and gals. How many crews do you have then?
I'm running 2 crews. 2 full crews to do, full interiors, exteriors, depending on the job size, and then I've got 2 floaters.
Gotcha.
So I've got two-man floaters that, do small jobs, little bathrooms, kitchens.
That's good size. Those are good sized crews.
Yeah. It works out really well. Obviously as things grow and get busier and, then winter comes and things slow down, I really try to maintain and keep my guys busy. I try not to hire during those times just because I don't want to take away from the hours of the guys that have been loyal,
Okay, so let's traverse over here to Kenny, who said we were at 8 on a Richter scale, an 8.5.
He saved
but then
himself.
he saved himself and came back and said we were at 12.
Yes.
He had a chance to think about it for a second.
Yeah,
Okay.
chalk it up to having to go first.
Okay, so let's try this again. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to be here?
I'm at a 15 now.
Okay.
Sliding scale.
A sliding scale. We better be sliding up,
Yes.
buddy.
Of course. Yes.
So B&M Builders and Remodeling, what is your position within the company and what do you build and remodel?
Well, I am a partner with Jason. Jason and I
Right.
are both owners. And
You hold the license.
yes, ma'am.
Yep.
And what we do is we do a lot of room additions, custom decks, railing, gazebos, trellises, framing, millwork, cabinetry, patio covers, lots of doors and windows, siding, stucco, drywall, flooring, roofing, concrete, fascia, trim.
How about windows, grocery shopping, car polishing, waxing,
No,
running the
not yet.
vacuum, weed pulling?
We might do pots and pans next year.
Okay, but not this year.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
no.
cool.
So we got our hands in quite a bit.
You do, boy.
We have a lot of great subs, too, that compliment us, because I am a general. And, it took a while to find the right people. And now we, 6 years later, we have a really good team.
So how many members on your team?
Well, we have about 13.
Ooh.
13, and then with all the subs, it would probably put us closer to 25.
Are you busy? How far out are you in work? If somebody were to call you today for a remodel, what is your schedule?
I think 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, we're normally running 10 to 12 at a time. And
Jobs?
yeah. So it usually works out really well.
Do you sleep?
A little bit, yeah.
Once a month.
Yeah.
And then he hibernates, for 24 hours?
Yeah.
Wow, 10 to 12 jobs at a time.
Yeah, right now we are. And the phone is ringing really well, and we're as busy as...
You want to be, or do you want to be busier?
Well, I think it's a lot to manage right now.
Yes.
But we're knocking it out of the park. So, I think 10 to 12 is plenty.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can sleep once a month. So what more can you ask for?
That's correct. Yeah.
And on a sliding scale, we're at 15. So I'm pretty doggone excited about that.
Yes.
Well, being a business owner, sleep deprivation is not uncommon.
That's true. You're right.
If you're passionate.
Yes, if you are passionate.
Oh, yeah.
And not even being a business owner, but a worker bee. I can tell you about that. We have to take a break before we come back and talk to Christian Bannister with Raw Customs and find out about the oven and the powder coating and what else they do. So listeners, we'll be right back with our Powerhouse of Men. Don't move. Hey everybody, good morning and welcome back to Hammer Time. We are your local construction talk show. Not just construction. We talk about everything, right, Mike? Community. That's what we're all about, community. So before we went to break, we cut right off at Christian Bannister, who is the guy in charge of the extraordinaire Wikipedia of Raw Customs. Christian, welcome to Hammer Time.
Thank you for having me.
And he said on a scale of 1 to 10, we were 400.
A cool, crisp 400.
Whoa, there we go. Way to go. So Raw Customs, Christian, before we get into this, let's back up because all of you guys, you went down to Bike Week with your bikes, right?
Yes,
2 weekends ago. So how cool was that?
It was I want to say once in a lifetime because I'm sure in the coming future we'll have a couple cool shows.
Right.
I don't keep it on the down low, but it was definitely a very, very cool experience for sure.
And you took a lot of your family and workers. I mean, is that a requirement that if you work at B&M Painting, Raw Builder, or B&M Builders and Remodeling and Raw, you have to own a bike, ride a bike, and be a biker?
It's not a requirement, but it's part of the family. We're all part of a family. You know what I mean? You never want to be the one brother left out.
That's right. Who's riding a bicycle?
Yeah.
Well, Kenny's got an issue. He's addicted. We're trying
How many?
We're trying to settle him down right now. He's on the bike hunt every day. And he's just in love with the riding and motorcycles and the custom ideas, and he's just really.
You need to be working, dude.
Yeah,
building projects.
I agree.
It's funny coming from the guy with 17 motorcycles.
Hey,
Yeah, Kenny. Okay, back to Raw Customs. So share with our listeners, Christian, exactly what Raw Customs is and what you do.
There's not much we don't do as far as the custom industry, the maintenance industry, cars, trucks, motorcycles, tires, sandblast, full service sandblast and powder coating. Our kind of motto is you dream it, we build it. So if you can think it up, we can do it. And same thing as far as the powder coating industry. If it can survive the sandblaster and it can survive the oven, we can change the color. So no glass, no plastic, no wood, pretty much any substrate of metal you can think of, I can coat it.
So you have a big oven then, or ovens?
I have a few ovens. We're in the market right now. We're getting a 30-foot oven, so everything pretty much 30-foot and smaller we'll be able to coat, which is going to completely change the game. Because as of right now, we're not just in the automotive industry. We do patio furniture and rail systems and stuff for your home as well. You go and working hand in hand with Kenny every day. Same thing with Jason. All three of us are out doing bids every day, and it's nice having that option because if I see something that's messed up in the building industry, I call Kenny, get him a job. If he sees a rail system that needs paint, he calls me and I powder coat it. You know what I mean? Same thing with Jason, and we just work hand in hand to try to feed each other. So.
And I will say that Raw Customs, you powder coated my patio furniture several years ago. It's still as beautiful as it was the day you brought it back to my house.
Now I have a question for you, Sandy.
Okay, Christian.
Give me a scale of 1 to 10 on the patio furniture.
Oh, I would say 100,000 cool ones.
A cool, crisp 100,000.
You got it.
I like it. I'll take it.
That's a home run.
I'll take it before you change your mind.
Seriously.
That's
I
good.
mean, it gets some dust on it, of course, because it's outside. But you just take a damp rag and you wipe it off, and it's beautiful.
Same thing I tell everyone in the paint industry, the car industry, motorcycle industry, epoxy floor industry, or powder coating industry. It's a coating. It'll take damage, but as long as you take care of it, it normally looks pretty great.
It's just lovely. So, I can't thank you enough. It makes me excited when I go sit on the patio and watch the clouds float by and the birds sing in my powder-coated patio furniture.
Yeah, we love to hear stuff like that. That's what I come to work for. That's
You know
great.
what? It is good when we hear those stories about the success stories, because nowadays sometimes we don't hear enough of them. So, Mike, do you have patio furniture that needs to be powder coated? We're on air. Do not make any excuses.
I have patio furniture that's still fairly new, so the coating is holding up
What does
very well.
fairly new mean?
It's within 3 years, and
Okay, well,
it's
that's
undercover.
We'll see you in 5 to 7.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll be
perfect.
here.
And
Okay.
I keep it covered in the wintertime, so I milk it.
Okay. All right, good.
So,
Just checking.
but eventually, I know where it's going to be going.
Okay, perfect. Their color selection is wonderful. So, with these ovens, have you ever baked a pizza?
I have.
Serious?
I have. Yeah,
Let's talk about
we
that.
have late nights once in a while, and
Okay,
there was
and-
a Papa Murphy's up here for a while, so we've sometimes we got to pull late ones and get stuff done. We meet our deadlines.
And I mean, is it any different than putting it in an oven, or does it do it faster?
It cooks
or
at 420 degrees, just like you'd put an oven at 350 or 375 or 400. It's 400 degrees. It's 400 degrees
Well, is that not awesome? I'm bringing you my pizza
all day long.
and my frozen chicken.
Oh, we do cookies as well.
Oh yeah.
Cookies?
We did cookies in there one time
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
Yep, we sure did, just to see if it would work.
And it worked?
It worked.
And when you're in the desert working in a building for
You gotta
8 years,
yeah.
you know what I mean. You have fun.
You become
Yeah,
very
you gotta
entrepreneurial.
have fun. You gotta mess
Perfect.
around.
So you just mentioned you're looking at a 30-foot oven.
A 30-foot
so
oven.
What size oven do you have right now?
I have a 10-foot oven, and about 6 or 7 years ago, we built a 7-foot extension, so I can do pretty good up to 16 and a half feet.
Gotcha.
But as of right now, like I said, 16 and a half feet. In about a year or so, we'll be up to 30, and I'll still have that oven as well. So we'll be able to pretty much coat, I mean, I wouldn't say anything, but a 30-foot piece of metal is a pretty large piece of metal.
I was just going to say that's a deal maker.
Yeah. I'll be able to do boat trailers. I'll be able to do regular car trailers. I mean, any sort of railings. That's another big thing in Prescott is a lot of these houses that we work on, are not only up in the mountains and stuff like that. They have a lot of different scale to them. So, a lot of the rail systems that we work on are long. They're big pieces of rails, and, they've been installed a long time ago or welded in place, in 20, 30, 40-foot sections. So sometimes it's difficult to cut them and sleeve them and break them down and do all that stuff to get a powder coat job done. So to have an oven that big will be a game changer for sure.
Absolutely. So how wide is that going to be?
It's 7 foot wide, 30 foot long.
Super.
So when you powder coat railings or whatever we would do to a railing, do you hang it from the ceiling? Are they powder coated and sprayed before they go into the oven?
Definitely. So anything powder
Okay.
coated has to be free hanging. It has to suspend.
Okay, yes,
So,
okay.
I mean, that's a major key of powder coating, and it's no different than any sort of coating industry, but hook marks and wire marks, you have to really, really think about how you're going to suspend that part because, I mean, working with a 30-foot piece of metal, it's heavy. You know what I mean? So you got to use really, really strong hooks. You got to use different contact points, and you have to have a good understanding of how things hang and suspend because, for one, you could hurt yourself really good, and for two, there's nothing worse than powder coating something perfectly, pushing it in the oven, then it falls. You know what I mean?
We have to take a break because I'm fearful the engineer is going to grab a really strong hook and suspend us somehow, some way.
He's been known to do that.
That we do not want to be suspended from. So, listeners, we'll be right back. We have B&M Painting, we have B&M Builders and Remodeling, and we have Raw Customs with us in the studio today. Jason, Kinney, and Christian. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hammer Time, waking up with the YCCA, a presentation of the Yavapai County Contractors Association. Once again, here's your host, Sandy Griffiths.
We're back on air. You are tuned in to Hammer Time, brought to you by YCCA. Okay, you guys, do you eat chocolate bunnies and Easter eggs for Easter? Do you eat the ears off the bunnies?
That's the first thing I eat is the ears off the bunnies. Then I'm usually done by then, especially if it's a solid bunny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So, Christian, let's talk about Cerakoting and what you do with all sorts of bike pieces and parts and canisters and turbos and what the heck ever.
So Cerakote is a wonderful material. It's going to be a thermophobic ceramic material that's going to be for anything temperature rated. So your turbos, your exhaust, your manifolds, your headers, heat shields.
These are all car parts and bike parts.
These are going to, all car and motorcycle parts that are going to be receiving heat. So a lot of them are going to be motor parts, stuff like that are going to be around high temperature environments because powder coat reliquefies at like 220 degrees. So if I say a powder coated turbo, it'd look great until you put it on. And then you'd use it a couple times, and then you'd be like, hey man, come check out this turbo I just got powder coated. Open the hood and it's destroyed.
Okay.
So you have to, like I said, it's technique. You have to know what to use, when to use it, and how to use it. So Cerakote is, like I said, a wonderful material. It's good up to 1800 degrees, the V series, and like I said, it comes in a variety of colors. They haven't come out with any gloss Cerakotes yet. Everything's going to be a semi-gloss finish, but they do exactly what they say they're going to do as far as thermophobic rating.
So are all of your bike parts Cerakoted? Is that where you get the color from?
Oh, definitely. Whenever you look into the center of a motor or anything like that, motors don't come all black stock most of the time. You know what I mean? There normally will be upgrade kits and stuff like that, but anytime you see something that's all uniform, is normally done that way for a reason.
Can you, once you Cerakote a part with the color, and it's introduced to heat and all of this stuff, can you re-Cerakote it with a different color?
It'd just be like restarting. You'd have to completely sandblast the coating off, re-prep it, re-bake it. There's an entire process to kind of degrease the part and to cure and prep the material properly. So you'd basically have to completely restart the process.
So pick the color right the first time.
Unless you got a fat wallet.
Okay.
and there's 3 different types of Cerakote. So what Christian's talking about is probably used the most, which is the high temp. But they do have low temp, which is for like gun parts, lowers, uppers, things like that, for things that don't receive high heat. So Cerakote is a very, very thin mill material. It goes on as a wet coating, and then it goes into a curing oven or an air cure process. So, the high, like I said, the high temps all the way up to 1800 degrees, headers, turbos, exhaust, cylinder heads for motorcycles. If you guys have a motorcycle out there and you guys want your motor work done, bring it in. We can beautify everything on your motor, from your exhaust, your cylinder heads, everything you can think of. And then again, we also offer the low temp Cerakotes as well.
So could I bring my gun in and we could make it a color?
Hot pink?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You can bring your gun parts in. I tell everybody on air right now, you can bring your gun parts in. You just can't bring the firing pin with it because we're not a gun manufacturer. So we can do any parts in Cerakote. You just have to disassemble it and not bring us the fire pin, and we can do whatever you need.
How cool is that?
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, so now how about driving around town? I'm starting to see all of these wheels. What are these things on cars? Yes, it's called a wheel.
The rims?
The rim. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, the rims. Colored rims, crazy. Red ones, blue ones. I saw a yellow one the other day.
We do multiple sets a week. It's a hit. People love it.
Wow.
A lot of the time, same thing like the motors. They don't come how people like them. You know what I mean? You buy a new car and it looks great except for the rims. So they'll have stock rims and they'll bring them down. We'll sandblast, prep them. We do a 3-day turnaround time, so you could bring your car on a Monday, pick it up on a Wednesday, completely balanced, mounted, ready to go, different color, washed, ready to drive.
So if somebody has chrome rims, can you Cerakote over that?
You wouldn't want to Cerakote rims. Like I said, it kind of depends. Just like Jason said, in the high traffic areas, where rock chips and dirt and brake dust, all that kind of stuff. Cerakote's a very thin mill thickness material, so it's not going to have a lot of build. It's great for what it's for, but in those high traffic areas, you're going to want to use a powder coat. Gotcha. But exactly what you were saying, you can go through there and pretty much do anything you want beforehand. So if you have curb rash, any aggressive marks on your rims, I can go and sandblast them and clean all that up, make it basically go away, and then prime it, powder coat it, mount and balance, and you're ready to go.
And if you have a chrome wheel, let's just say you damage it slightly or whatever, maybe you want to take that chrome wheel and you want to make it red. As long as the chrome's not damaged, we can go ahead and sandblast that and profile that chrome without removing all the chrome. But if it's actually got road rash or it's past that chrome, we have to take all of that off.
All of it off.
And we've got updated tire machines, guys. So if you've got wheels, you want to bring your whole car into us, we can take the rubber off, the tires off. We can sandblast, powder coat your rims, put your tires back on, balance them for you. We've got all that in-house. We can take care of all your needs.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, I've got some ideas going on with this little red head here on my rims.
I'm telling you, I can custom powder coat is some of the coolest stuff, man. We got 12,000 colors, single colors, and that's including textures and veins and all kinds of stuff like that. Then you can mix and match them to about 600,000 different mix and matches with different clear coats, flakes, transparent colors. There's endless. Like I said, it's you dream it, we build it. If you can think up a color, I'm sure I can figure something out for
So
you.
if you see the
4
black box
rims.
running into your showroom with a crazy redhead behind the wheel, you'll know exactly who it is.
Yeah, they just did my bike, Jason.
One of your
Christian.
17?
Huh?
One of your 17?
No,
Jason has 17.
Jason has the 17.
Okay.
I have a couple. Anyhow, they powder coated my bike lollipop red, and it looks literally like a Jolly Rancher. I mean, it is a candy color. It's beautiful. He blacked out my motor, so I don't have to worry about when a motor's not powder coated, it can get really the usual zinc coating or whatever that is, the gray, the stock. I didn't want that, so it just really pops nice. The color knocked it out of the park. I get a lot of compliments on it, and it looks just like a lollipop. I mean, I'm so excited.
Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop. Okay, so Kenny, back to B&M Builders and Remodeling. What's one of your favorite projects? What do you like working on the best, or do you love everything equally?
I'm very passionate about everything that we do.
Do you go to every job site? Do you visit every job site?
I do.
Wow, personally, you put your touch on every one of them.
Yes. I start out at every job site, goes through me, and then I transfer my vision to my men and have them make it a reality. So it's important to understand that not only do we build, we also have an in-house architect, designer, so we could take you from a dirt lot and hand you the keys, whether it be a remodel, commercial building, or residential. Design and build.
Okay, so when you say design internal staff, can someone bring you their idea and you can design that and put it on paper, and then they can go to another builder, or do you have to maintain control of your design and builds person?
Well, I don't bind to the client. I'm hopeful that if I bring an architect to the table and we do all the footwork, that I'm your guy. But there's no guarantee with that. And I don't bind anybody to do that. But it turns out very nice when it works that way out. And usually 8 times out of 10, I end up bringing the design in and doing the project.
Good
because,
for
you.
There's nothing better and more and easier for a homeowner to deal with one person instead of
Christian.
17. You know what I mean?
You're right.
That's the best part about being a one-stop shop, not only auto, moto, and home, is, you normally only deal with 3 faces, if that,
And let me tell you, listeners, these are some really good-looking faces. Oh, we have to take a break. Christian, hold that thought, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Hammer Time, waking up with the YCCA, a presentation of the Yavapai County Contractors Association. Once again, here's your host, Sandy Griffiths.
Everybody, good morning and welcome to Hammer Time, your go-to industry talk show partner. That's what we are.
And solution entity for problems.
Yes, we are. We do quite a bit of that. So our home show is next weekend, April 25th, 26th, and 27th. Free admission, Findlay Toyota Center. Listeners, you can stop by and meet these 3 wonderful men. They will be in booth 76, 77, 78, 79, somewhere in that aisle. 74, 75. 76, 77, somewhere in that aisle.
They'll be on the corner.
They'll be on the corner.
Can't miss us.
Standing on the. Oh no, that's for sure, Christian.
Yep.
You cannot be missed.
Look for the bikes. Look for the flags. Look for the red banners.
Look for the tent, the canopies.
Yep.
Are you going to have a canopy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're 100% dialed in now.
Okay, perfect. So we got it down.
Yes, we do.
To a science.
Yes, you do have it dialed down to a science.
We don't get cool, crisp 100,000s for nothing.
That was cute. Okay, so Christian, before we took our break, you were sharing with our listeners how great it is that the three of you and your processes, you are a one-stop shop where it's much easier to manage and control versus having to deal with, I think you said 17 other faces and components.
Well, just being a homeowner, if, say, you want to do a remodel or an addition, you have to call a plumber, you have to call an electrician,
Right.
you have to call a contractor, you have to call a framer, you have to
Right.
call a stucco guy, a painter,
Right.
and you have to call everybody. We do it all.
So did you evolve to do it all when you first started out, Jason? Or were you doing just a component and then having to call it out? How did you get so dialed in?
Well, I had a company called Paint Plus in California, and that did painting plus, your fascia repair, your trim, your minor stucco repair, drywall repair, things like that. And then when I came in Arizona, nothing against Arizona, but guys just didn't show up. Guys would go on hunt. They wouldn't even call you. You call them for 2 weeks, and they're hunting for a month, and they're late. And again, some of the problems in life, like addictions and divorces and relationship things, and so I just basically started doing one thing at a time. And most of the time I was motivated to do it or to get it done because somebody didn't show up, or somebody was late, or somebody didn't no show. And so Kenny and I have been friends for 30-something years. He's phenomenal. He's been building houses in this area forever, framing, general contracting, remodeling, putting in windows, doors, all that stuff. And so it was a great partnership. Not only because he's my friend, but it was a great partnership in business. And he's a man that I can trust, and he's God-fearing. And so he's got all these benefits to being that guy and that perfect fit. And, him and I have just worked really well together to make this all come together. So like Christian said, one thing is like decks. So he goes to replace a deck. I can come in, bring my guys in. We do all 6 sides of the board. He puts on his strips on top, lays the decking down. He's not waiting on a painter. He's not hesitated. He's not delayed with the homeowner. Everything's bang, bang, bang. We're all working together, and it works really well
Perfect.
That way. And same thing with beam work. On new construction, I can come in, do all the beams. He can hang all the beams. All the beams have a coating on all 6 sides. You can't see 3 of them. You can't normally see the top or the 2 sides, but it's all coated, it's all protected, and we can work together that way in building and making sure that our homeowners are taken care of.
And then there's Christian out there, Raw Customs, putting pizza in the oven.
Well, again, finishing with patio furniture. One of the big things is gates.
Yes. Oh my
Railing.
gosh, huge.
Yep.
Raw Customs does all our own
Yes.
fabrication, welding. So if something comes in and a gate's broken, a latch is broken, it's got expanded metal, something needs to be replaced, a bottom rail, top rail, we can literally fabricate that, get it in sandblast, get it through powder coat, and then get it over to Kenny for install. So it's boom, boom, boom. It's really fast.
That's amazing. That's pretty impressive, isn't it, Mike?
It is. Yep.
And now I'm seeing more and more decks. They're going to metal railings, period.
Correct.
I mean, it is just exploding out there.
Yep.
Yeah, painting all those spindles every 3 to 5 years
Sheesh.
is grueling
Yes,
task.
yeah.
Especially if you're in outer space and your deck's high in the air, you're not going to want to get out there and do it. And then the vinyl, the composite railing, it's very, very expensive. It's upwards between $165 and $200 a foot before you get into the wildlife urban interface, where you're restricted. They only offer 3 colors, gray, white, and treehouse is kind of a brown. So, if you put a gray deck on and you can only get white, light gray, but you're putting a dark gray down, I mean, you're restricted. And the vinyl just doesn't hold up as well. The composite vinyl, PVC, doesn't hold up as well as the metal railing does. And the metal railing is wildlife urban interface,
Yes.
as you know,
Oh, it
Class
is,
A,
yeah.
slow to the burn. I wanted to go back and just touch on one thing that Jason was saying, how he compliments me. A lot of the remodel decks that we do, I'll go in and the deck gets built by the carpenter, and then he'll put the top on and he won't wait for the painter. And then the painter will come just paint whatever's left. So what happens is the top of the beam never gets done.
You're right.
It never gets painted, or the ends of the beam never get painted. Those are the first things to rot. So
right on.
Swapping a beam out that never got painted in outer space is monumental and expensive. So in order for him to compliment me and paint the lumber package before I put it together,
easy breezy.
Yes.
Way to go.
Yeah.
And Mike, we're all shaking our heads because we've been there and done that with the beams not being painted in the posts.
The marbles are rattling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just even the tops of the joists not getting something on it.
Nope, you're so right with that.
Correct.
So that's a big takeaway for our listeners this morning. Make sure that is done, and it's the lifelong life of your deck.
Even if you're using tape on top of your joist, you still need to paint it first.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would, absolutely.
Yep.
And you do.
I would, and I do. I would recommend it, and I do.
Two coats.
Yeah. Good, Christian. Yeah, 2 coats. That's good. So what do you like best about what you do? Just seeing things develop and turn into a project?
Yeah, starting from a dirt lot and making somebody's dream come true.
Very good.
And so the things that we build is such a sliding scale from A to Z. I mean, we've done some really neat stuff. We just finished a custom greenhouse that, I don't even know if it could be done. I knew it was a level 5 on a level of 1 to 5, but we knocked it out of the park. Homeowners really happy. The environment, the grade, all of it was just a major challenge.
Wow, good for you.
And then we're remodeling 4 buildings over at the VA too. We've been over there for a couple of years. These buildings are early 1900s, so everything you open up is another challenge. But we're getting through it. It's coming together. It's looking really, really good. Yeah.
Good for you. Christian, what do you like best about what you do at Raw?
I feel like Kenny really hit it, man. There's nothing better than getting something that's really torn up and doesn't look too great and giving something back to a customer that's just pristine and perfect. No different than a paint job or finishing a framing job or a remodel or concrete coating or anything like that. When you show up to a garage that just has oil stains and paint all over it, drywall mud, and it just looks terrible, and you leave, a beautiful metallic coating or a chip broadcast finish or something like that. There's nothing better than just exactly what you said. You're a customer of mine, you know what I mean? I love hearing that you like to go outside and sit in the chairs that I worked on and look outside and enjoy those chairs, you know what I mean? That's why I wake up and do, I feel like that's why we all wake up and do what we do.
And I will say on air, and I would say it even off air, the 3 of you are a testament to, number 1, professionalism in the industry, number 2, integrity in the industry, and number 3, just caring and believing in what you do. And we're so proud to have you as a YCCA member and support you and your team and your employees. You mean the world to us. I hope you know that.
Thank you.
We have to take a break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hammer Time, waking up with the YCCA, a presentation of the Yavapai County Contractors Association. Once again, here's your host, Sandy Griffiths.
You guys, it was a real pleasure having you with Mike and me and the engineer this morning. So listeners, please stop by the home show. You can personally meet Jason, his team, Kenny, his team, Christian, his team. Lena will be there. Will Daddy-O be with us?
Oh, yeah.
Both
Perfect. So share with our listeners how they can reach you. Jason, start with you.
B&M Painting. You've got our website, which is B&MPaintingAZ.com. You can check us out on, we've got Instagram at bnmpaintingaz.com. We've got Facebook. Check our Facebook out. We post pictures. I try to post every picture of every job so you guys can get an idea of what we do. And you can reach us at 928-636-8281.
Kenny, how do they reach you?
They can reach us at 928-775-5112 or bnmbuildersaz.com.
Perfect. Christian, how do they reach you?
Raw Customs.
R-A-W.
R-A-W, that's the name of the business. So you can reach us at www.rawcustomsaz.com. We have Instagram at rawcustomsaz. Same thing on TikTok, Raw Customs AZ. Facebook as well, Raw Customs AZ. Check us out, 928-636-7299 in Chino Valley.
So until next weekend, bye, 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 and bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hammer Time. Thank you for tuning in to Hammer Time. Waking Up with the YCCA, a presentation of the Yavapai County Contractors Association. Heard each and every Saturday morning at 7, with an encore presentation Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 1130 at 99.9 FM in Prescott, 95.5 FM, Prescott Valley and Cottonwood, and online at kqna.com. A library of past Hammer Time shows can be listened to on the Yavapai County Contractors website at ycca.org. Break it down.